During this time of the year, the season of giving, millions and millions of persons spend a lot of time looking for gifts for their loved ones. That is why people with money will just give money to prevent the hustle and bustle of finding specific gifts for each of their loved ones. That is why there are some persons who just bake a lot of cakes and give their friends and family a cake. Cricket West Indies have an ideal opportunity to give its millions of fans a big New Year's gift. To give its millions of fans a simple gift that will let us all celebrate. Cricket West Indies have a low-hanging fruit and they can fire Shane Deitz and give us all a wonderful New Year's present. That will be the biggest present for every West Indian fans if Shane Deitz was to be fired as coach of the women cricket team. He had no value to that team. He's a lazy bastard that needs to go back to Australia. Some of you will say that we will have to pay him off. But I draw the comparison once again with my favorite place, the bakery. If you have a baker who is not baking the bread properly, are you going to wait until the end of his contract to fire him or not to renew it? No, you need bread to sell, so you have to sell them immediately. And therefore, you have to fire the baker immediately. Do us all a favor, Cricket West Indies, and fire Shane Deitz now. Not tomorrow, now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the #1 cricket channel in the Caribbean. I thank you for being here. I appreciate your company, and I look forward to your interaction as we deep dive into Shane Deitz. Joining me this morning is Juna Codlin. Juna Codlin is the CEO of West Indies Cricket Development Academy, not to be confused with the West Indies Academy. Juna Codlin, through his academy, have been supporting the development of cricket in Jamaica and by large the West Indies. Recently, Juna Codlin and his academy took some players to Chicago to play cricket, and we'll hear more about that later. But for now, welcome Juna Codlin. Good morning. How are you, man?
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, Carlton, and it's great to be on the Cricket Forum again. A wonderful and indeed the #1 cricket show here in the Caribbean.
Thank you very much, Juna Codlin. You would have heard my rambling just now about Shane Deitz. When Shane Deitz first came to the West Indies, I was part of that panel that interviewed him on that first occasion. I remember then clearly asking Shane Deitz, what value do you bring to the West Indies team? What value will you bring to the women team? Up to now, and I would have said this before, I cannot understand the answer that Shane Deitz gave me. I cannot recall one word from that answer because he just rumbled along is nothingness. And we have seen that in the women team. I recalled the very first match that the West Indies women team played last year. I think it was October or November in Australia, a T20 match under the leadership of Shane Deitz. Shane Deitz was not seen for the entire match. It took the next day when I did a show and called out why Shane Deitz was not seen the entire match. I recall then I said that he was probably in the bar having a drink while the West Indies team was capitulating. The next match after that, he was quite visible on the bench. This man, Shane Deitz, think that coaching the West Indies women team is a joyride. He's here on holiday. And the sooner the Cricket West Indies listen to me and recognize that Shane Deitz is taking us for a fool and fired the bastard, it will be better it is for the women cricket team. Because this man, Shane Deitz, he absolutely knows nothing that he's doing, and he should go. He should not be here for the new year. Now, what are your thoughts on this coach, Juna Codlin?
Yeah, once again, good morning to yourself and the viewers, and good night to them that are in another land. Shane, you know, before he took the job, he knew the complexity of the Caribbean and the makeup of the island and the different players from different sections of the islands that make up the West Indies. And he knew that before. So when we heard him in India talking about the entire divide and we need to do things better, he knew all these things before. So for him to come and saying these things now, it is because he's been exposed. He's not a good coach. He is not able to get the best out of the players. A good leader will take average players and turn them into world beaters. Shane doesn't have that quality. The team that he was coaching before was a team that was already built and ready to go. All he had to do was to play a supporting role. But with the West Indies, they need a coach that will be able to build them from the bottom up. This coach would need to speak to every individual player's needs and wants and bring them up to the level of that of Ailey Matthews, the West Indies captain. So what Diaz is not able to do is to bring the players up to the quality that Ailey Matthews is. So he's now deflecting the blame.
Thank you very much, Juna. I want to make it very clear that the West Indies women cricket team is a very weak team. It lacks quality. I have no doubt in my mind. Players like Ailey Matthews, DeAndre Dottin, Charisma Ramarak are world class. I believe those three players can walk into any women cricket team anywhere in the world. You have players like Sherman Campbell, Chanel Henry, Affle Fletcher. Those three, Alia Lane, probably to a lesser extent, will have a challenge walking into a state team in Australia or India. So the gap between our superstars and those that follow them is a very wide gap. And so I agree that the team does not have a lot of quality in it. Shane Deitz, however, is not adding anything at all. Can any one of you, or even Shane Deitz himself, points out to me one era in which this team has improved under him? There's no era. And he's also very rude to be talking about the cultural and political and social situation in the Caribbean. He was employed as a cricket coach to coach the West Indies cricket team. So where does it now becomes his responsibility to be talking about our cultural situation, to talking about our social situation, our political situation. Where is that a part of his portfolio? Where? Where has he become a politician? Where did he become entangled in the West Indies way of life? He's not one of us, and he's not allowed to talk about those things. And he must go home and go home now. There are three aspects of cricket: batting, bowling, and fielding. Everyone that have any sense at all about the game knows that the easiest thing for you to improve is the fielding. Under Shane Deitz, this West Indies women team have become a laughing stock. Those of you who spend the time and lost your sleep to watch those matches in India, especially the one-day match, realize that the commentators were laughing at the West Indies team. If you are poor in batting, and I've said this many times, you are poor in bowling, you must be great in fielding. Because I know that once your fielding start improving, your fitness start to improve. And once your fitness start to improve, you will bat a little longer. And once you start batting a little longer, you'll be able to cope with the bowling that much look better. Once again, this team doesn't have quality right through it. I never expect us to beat India in the one-day matches. But Lord, man, the fielding. If the coach can't improve the fielding of a team, he is taking money under false pretense. Jonah, did you witness the fielding of the West Indies team in India?
Yeah, the fielding was subpar at best. What's happening is that if he's the head coach and with the recent change that Cricket West Indies would have made in eliminating the selectors, the independent minds and selectors that were to work in conjunction with the head coach, they eliminate that and they put the sole responsibility in the hands of the coach. So we are to criticize and critique the head coaches of these teams. And with the team performing in this way there in India, we must talk about the coach. So Shane and his coaching staff has shown themselves of not being competent to move an average team to an elite team. Many of the players that are on this women team, what they need is good coaching. What they need is mental preparation. And maybe they can feel better, but they are not being mentally taken care of. When you look on top quality teams over the world these days, they have a mental performance coach. They have somebody that is taking care of their mentality. When we talk about mental coach, we don't talk about players being mad and need to be taken care of. We are talking about players having somebody that is able to say to them that block out everything else and focus on the cricket. What these players in India is worrying about, they are worrying about what is going on at home, what is taking place there. They are not focused on the cricket. And the head coach is not built in a way to talk to them on this level. So in appointing a bowling coach, in appointing a fielding coach, appointing all the coaches that they are appointing, Cricket West Indies must employ a mind power coach, because when you do this, what you are doing is catching up with the rest of the world. Look on all the established teams in world cricket these days. They have a mental coach with them.
Thank you very much, Jonah. Some other issues that I want to talk about Shane Deitz, because I absolutely don't think that is the right coach, and I think we really need to get rid of him as quick as possible. So there are some other issues that I really like to talk about. As I mentioned, the team is not one of great quality. We accept that. However, we have seen where he said that he has an attacking philosophy. In the first series of matches in Australia when he was here, when he came here last year, he picks players like Shabika Gajnabi from Guyana. He asked Gajnabi to open the innings and asked her to play attackingly. I then said to Shane Deitz that time, how can you ask someone to move from averaging 5 single figures to start playing attacking cricket? Isn't the natural incremental improvement is to even develop a solid defense in the player first before you go to the next level? He claimed that his philosophy is attacking cricket. What have they done with Gajnabi after that? They threw her away. She wasn't even at the World Cup. They brought her back for the series in India. She played one match, dropped the next match, play another match, drop the next match. He is destroying the mentality of our players, just like you heard Juna said just now. That is one of the way. And there are many more examples apart from Gajnabi. But I use her because I don't need to go through all of them. I just need to show you one. And so Shane Deitz is not only that he is not adding any value to the team, it's not only that he's getting involved in our domestic affair where he doesn't belong, he's also destroying the mentality of the players. He is damaging the players mentally. Now, on that issue, Shane Deitz is here picking players who are averaging in single figures. Again, I said, this is not a quality team. But there are players in the West Indies that are averaging in the teens. Someone like Brittany Cooper from Trinidad. She's averaging in the teens. If memory serves me right, Brittany Cooper was at the wicket when we won the World Cup in 2016. So why is it then you're picking players who are averaging single figures and leaving out players who are averaging in the teens? Is averaging in the teens great? No. But it is better than players who are averaging 5 and 6. So once again, he's showing favoritism. Favoritism. So he's lazy. He's getting involved in our domestic affair. He's destroying the mentality of the player. He's showing favoritism. This man must go. Another issue that I want to touch on before I go back to Juna. There's no other woman in this West Indies team that I think should captain it. I don't think so. I think that for the foreseeable future, Aileen Matthews is the captain of this team. I have no doubt about that. The bottom line about it, though, is that Aileen Matthews is not really a good captain. We have seen it. Those of you who have watched the team, not only on TV, but have actually gone to match, you would have seen the blunders that she continues to make. You'd have seen that she's not aware. Sometimes she appears not to aware of her surrounding. You'd have seen that sometimes she struggled to set the fields. And there are a number of things. One obvious one, you'd have seen that she was not aware of the situation that she was using 2 white ball in the first one-day international. She was not even aware of that situation. That being said, however, people learn on the job. But I realize that Shane Deitz, the coach, is not helping the captain. He's sitting there laughing, covering up his face, and talking about the West Indies cricket team is poor. How can we have a coach that is claiming that the West Indies cricket team that he's coaching is a poor team? I call on Cricket West Indies to fire Shane Deitz now and give the people of the Caribbean a New Year present, one which we will cherish. Juna, it's certainly time for Shane Deitz to go. He's destroying this team.
Indeed, if West Indies seem as, and if it is true that these things that are being said. You cannot be on a cow back and cussing a cow. But it comes down again to this present administration led by my good friend Dr. Shallow and the people that he put in the sensitive positions in Miles Bascom and their narrow vision that they have for West Indies cricket. And now we know an election is coming up for Cricket West Indies, and we are not saying vote out this administration and put in another administration. What we are calling on this administration to do is to be transparent, is to be fair, is to take on mind power, take on mental training. Miles Bascom need mental training, because how can you appoint an Australian that doesn't know the culture of West Indies cricket, that doesn't know what make us stick as a team, that doesn't know what makes us and are able to speak to what will make the players perform for the region, and make him coach and have him making these rubbish statement and covering his face and doing all that he's doing. Accountability needs to be had at the head of the table, and the head of the table is the director of cricket, Miles Bascom. If he can't get Shane to perform the way that he ought to perform, just as he dismissed Andre Coley, he should dismiss Shane Deitz as well. West Indies women's cricket need better management. It needs mind power. It needs a mental coach that will not take care of the players' madness, but will help them to perform in a way that is acceptable. Nobody is saying that they should win every game. What a mental coach, mind power coach, will help the players to do is to perform a lot better than they are performing now, and it will enhance their overall ability in life and to play the game of cricket that they so love.
Thank you very much, Juna. And on this issue of mentality, I've heard you spoke to the Cricket West Indies hierarchy at the last press conference about it. So this is something that I know you have been championed. Now, Juna, before we come to why you are really here, I just want to go through some of the comments in the chat. Then we allow you to talk about your West Indies Cricket Development Academy, which you have been doing a wonderful job. But let me just run through some of those comments in the chat. Cricket Studio saying that West Indies future test captain Shea Hope. Okay, OTC is asking, where is Powell? Why is he not in the poll? Well, the poll is an eliminator, so you will have a chance to vote on Powell and Brathwaite later. Okay, Jamor Small, good morning to you, Jamor Small. Michael Kane is saying, the problem with the female team is that they don't play enough tests or 4-day cricket to help improve their body team. Well, but Michael Kane, I want to say though, Michael Kane, tell me, because it's easy to say what you're saying. Anyone can say what you're saying, Michael Kane. It's easy to say that, you know, because when you deep dive into it, you realize that presently, although West Indies will be playing some tests this year, I think one test against England, for many years, it was only Australia and England alone playing test cricket and women cricket. Then I think a few years ago, India started playing and South Africa. So it is not an issue that test cricket is widely played in women cricket. The question I want to ask you, Michael Kane, as poor as the team is, and I've established that the team lacks quality, tell me one area in which Sean Diaz have improved this team. And if you really follow West Indies cricket, my good friend Michael Kane, a happy new year to you when it comes, because we are always communicating. If you are following the West Indies women cricket team, you would have known that Cricket West Indies have invested a lot of money in this team. They have gone even a one-month camp in Abu Dhabi or something like that. Tell me, Michael Kane, one area in which this team have improved. One area, one. Juna, can you tell me one area in which this team can improve?
I'm not sure where this team has improved. The younger person that returns to the team is the self-proclaimed world boss in Deandra Dutton. And we don't understand what change other than the head coach to allow her to come back, since she said that the environment within the team is not conducive for her to stay in the team. And these are the things that cause the West Indies team to be the way it is. There's no accountability.
Yes, well, and I also believe that with the team reaching the semi-final of the Women's World Cup, that was not because of Shane Deitz. It was despite Shane Deitz, and it was really down to what you call the Dutton bunks. You're talking about psychology in sport. Those who follow sport realize that this was really the Dutton bunks. And fair play to the women. They caught England on a bad day, in which England dropped many catches, and there have been a lot of criticism about the women team. Fair play to the women who reached the semi-final of the World Cup. But
let me say, Carlton, that when the Jamaican Courtney Walsh was there, the World Cup was being played down under in Oceania, on that continent. And we reached the semi-finals. So it is not any magic, any one coach that took us from a downward spiral to an upward mobility. What has happened is that when Walsh was there, the team went to semi-final. Now this coach is there, the team goes to semi-final. So he's not moving the needle. What would have been remarkable is if they have gone to the semi-final, then to the final, then win the tournament. That would have been remarkable. But just going to the semi-final brings us back to when Walsh was there.
Thank you very much. Juna Benjamin is saying that he's making excuses for failures. Exactly. Juna, this man take the West Indies people for a fool. He doesn't have any respect for us. He doesn't rate us. And he thinks that he can get involved in our domestic affair. That is not his responsibility. He's rude. He should not go there. He should concentrate on cricket. That's what he came here to coach, and that's what he should be coaching. He's rude. He must go, Juna Benjamin. Non-Rider is asking, why are you hungry, brother? Non-Rider, you're misinterpreting my reaction, my passion for West Indies cricket to mean it to be upset or angry. No, it's a passion coming out, Non-Rider. There's nothing angry about me right now. However, Shane Deitz must go. He must go. There's no doubt about it. He must go now. You know, and that is not really angry. It's my passion. And when the wrong thing is being done, I have to call it out. Why do we need foreign coaches? Well, to tell you the truth, Melroy Daly, I am not one who goes down that road. If the very best coach in the world is from Mars, I want him to coach the West Indies team. And I am not eating out at Shane Deitz because he's Australian. I'm eating out because he has not improved the teams. And I've listed some things earlier. The team fielding has not improved. His approach is affecting the mentality of the players. He's not helping the captain, who is a poor captain. Not a poor cricketer. There's two different situations there. A poor captain. He's lazy, you know, and there are a number of things that I list earlier. And those are the reasons why I want him out. Not because he's an Australian. I do not go there, Melroy Daly. Thank you for your comment. Well, although West Indies women is weak, they still make it to the semi-final of the last T20 World Cup. The problem is not enough women play cricket in the West Indies. Thank you very much, Dane. And known rider and as I said, I would have explained that already. Juna, as the CEO of the West Indies Cricket Development Academy, you have been doing a wonderful job helping persons in the Caribbean to play cricket and to enhance their cricketing ability. You have spent enormous time with your academy. Recently, you took some players to Chicago, I think, to play in a tournament. Your wonderful family allow you the opportunity to go because they support you in whatever you are doing. And you're a family man, and I appreciate that. This morning, Juna, I'm giving you the opportunity to tell us about the West Indies Cricket Development Academy and the work that you guys are doing. Juna, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I must thank the Cricket Hall of Fame, which play a very integral part in us securing these players to go to the US Open. That was held in Florida at the iconic stadium there that India and West Indies play so many T20 games, and even Bangladesh and Sri Lanka as well. So the Cricket Hall of Fame reached out to us, the West Indies Cricket Development Academy, and request that we make available 6 players from Jamaica to go to to take part in the US Open. That tournament happens from the 13th to the 22nd of December year in 2024. And so what the West Indies Cricket Development Academy did was to stay true to its mandate of creating opportunities for our players here in Jamaica and in the rest of the Caribbean. But we were specifically told to secure 6 players from Jamaica. So we did not look to the rest of the Caribbean this time around. We focused in Jamaica, and we round up these 6 players. We looked at their average. We looked at their ability to play the game and if they are deserving of such an opportunity. And once they fit all the criterias in the box, we decided to give them the opportunity. And they went to Florida. They left the island on Friday, the 13th of December, and they returned on the 22nd of December. And they played for the Chicago Catchers in the 16th edition of the US Open, where they have gone on to win the tournament and secure the prize for the Chicago Catchers. And these players, the entire community there in Florida, in and around, even the mayor was very pleased with them. They were very happy that they would have gotten this opportunity and came and marshaled themselves properly in that tournament. They were something to behold. The entire public over there had nothing bad to say about them. The West Indies Cricket Development Academy is very happy for the partnership with the Cricket Hall of Fame to be able to secure these opportunities for our players. We are very happy that they have gone on to win the tournament, and the academy now stays true to its mandate of creating opportunities for less fortunate cricketers here in Jamaica and in the rest of the Caribbean. And come next year in 2025, we are not hoping to send 6 players, but we are hoping to send a full team to participate in that tournament. As a result of that, the Cricket Council USA, which is the parent body for USA T20 Open there in Florida, has agreed with us to bring a tournament to Jamaica. And we are in discussion with the JCA and also the Kingston Cricket Club to host this tournament at a specific date in May at Sabina Park. And from that tournament, we'll be able to pick the team that will go to Florida to represent Jamaica in the US Open in 2025. This is all the tremendous work that we here at West Indies Cricket Development Academy is doing in conjunction with the Cricket Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much, Juna. I want to congratulate you for organizing and taking those players to the US Open. We have been hearing about the US Open now for many, many years. You stated there that this was the 18th consecutive year of 16. The US Open. And 16. For you to invest in these players, because how did you get financing to take these players, Juna? Could you? Yes, Juna. How did you come about? What was the financing for these players through your organization, or was it that did you get help from the JCA or Cricket West Indies, but it was just through your association that this financing took place? Because it must be a tidy sum to take these players to the tournament.
Absolutely, and I'm glad to answer that question. In December, it's very expensive to travel, hotel accommodation and transportation and so forth. It all came down to the negotiating power that lies with us here at West Indies Cricket Development Academy in conjunction with the Cricket Hall of Fame. And so what the Cricket Hall of Fame did, they are in Connecticut, United States. And so they negotiated the funding from Cricket Council USA. West Indies Cricket Development Academy speaks directly to the Cricket Hall of Fame, which is our partners in the US, and the Cricket Hall of Fame spoke with Cricket Council USA, and they secure the undisclosed funds to pay the airfare, accommodation, food, and transportation, and also payment for these players.
Thank you very much, Juna. Whatsoever was done to secure these players going to the US Open, we want to applaud you, because it would have been tedious, it would have taken a lot of work, it would have taken a lot of negotiation, as you said there. And we look forward to next year, May, when through the effort, your effort, because we need more persons like you and the West Indies Cricket Development Academy to have the interest of cricket at heart and putting in this type of work for youngsters that we have never heard their name before, but yet still they have this opportunity. These are youngsters who have fell away by the wayside, and probably some are playing SDC, probably a few are playing Senior Cup in Jamaica, but most of them are nowhere near the Jamaica team. And for you and your organization to be able to get these players to Florida to play in the US Open, I think is a big deal, and no praises can be too high for you and your academy for the work you are doing to develop these players, Juna. Well done, young man. Congratulations, and I hope that this is something that will continue and it will go from strength to strength.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our aim and our desire is to continue to give opportunities to young cricketers here in Jamaica. Not only young cricketers, but cricketers that are left behind and fallen by the wayside. You yourself is doing a tremendous job by allowing us to tell the story to the public, to make them understand that cricket here in Jamaica is back on the rise, and we are doing our part in making sure that we give opportunities to young cricketers. We also is negotiating sponsorship for the JCA for youth cricket here in Jamaica at the primary school, going up into the high school. So there's tremendous work that we are doing. As soon as they come on stream, we'll be glad to come back and tell the world about what we are doing.
Thank you very much, Juna. Well done. Very interesting, very exciting time for cricket. Let's look at what we are getting from the chat. And Caris87, good morning to you. He said that West Indies women need serious leagues organized throughout the islands. That is true, Juna. And probably that's somewhere, Juna, that you can probably turn your attention, because I recall I was asking earlier this month if there was any cricket league for women that what has been played in Jamaica for 2024. I am not sure. I haven't heard about any. I think Janet said yes, there was a league, but it is something. This is a good point that Caris 87 is making. We need a structured league in the Caribbean, in the islands for women, Jonah.
Absolutely. Indeed, there are discussion, and this is why the Cricket Hall of Fame in Connecticut, United States is so important, working with the West Indies Cricket Development Academy, because as you would know, the annual Portland T10 League, the Cricket Hall of Fame has been sponsoring this league for the last 4 years now, in breathing life into women's cricket there in Portland. They also are thinking about funding a league here in Clarendon at the Jamalco Sports Club. We are going to be having discussion with the management of Jamalco in bringing this league at their sports facility. This is to take place on Easter Monday come next year. So the Cricket Hall of Fame and those that are operating the Cricket Hall of Fame are thinking about Jamaica. They are thinking about women's cricket. They're already investing in women's cricket in the annual Portland League that is now taking place. There are some very bright prospect that is coming out of that league. So I want to say to the person in the comment that the Cricket Hall of Fame and West Indies Cricket Development Academy are doing their endeavor best to make sure women's cricket is played in Jamaica in a semi-professional way, but nevertheless we are doing our work at the grassroots level to bring women's cricket on stream here in Jamaica, and then the JCA can do the rest.
Thank you very much, Juna. Good morning, Ivan. Ivan is saying good morning to you too, Juna. As the community will know that Ivan Johnson is the spiritual leader of this community. Melroy Daly saying, I'm not anti-foreign coaches. All I am saying is that West Indies has competent persons who can do a better job. But naturally, Melroy Daly, I would have loved for you to expand out on your statement and give us an idea of those persons who you think, so we can really have a broader discussion. I hope you understand what I'm saying, because I would have definitely loved some names so we can look at those names and we can talk about those names. So thank you for your comment. I just hope that you would give us some name. So great. So, and Melroy saying to you, Juna, great work. So Melroy Daly, appreciate the work that you are doing. Yes, Melroy, as I said, give us some names. We'd love some names, you know. Greetings, Atina. Welcome to you, Atina. Happy to see you here. And Never Isaac is saying, why were the other countries not involved in the Florida tour? Never Isaac, I don't quite understand the question. If you heard what Juna said, I don't understand from what angle you asked that question. It's too broad. It's too broad to answer.
Now, I kind of get what he's saying, but as I said before, that you know, the Cricket Hall of Fame, which is our main partners there in the US, they speak with the Cricket Council USA, and they specifically ask this time around for just Jamaican players. But nevertheless, from Trinidad, Lendell Simmons, John Ross, Jagassar, and a few others, Imran Khan, and a few others from Trinidad played in that tournament. They played for the New Yorkers team. And so it's not that it's only Jamaica is represented, but the other Caribbean islands, they were represented in some form or fashion. But the cohort of players came from Jamaica.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much, Juna. Again, to Never Isaac, the question that he asks and your answer shed some perspective on what you think is specific. But I think that things like these, instead of Never Isaac trying to ask a guilt trip question, he should be saying that we need to copy what Juna is doing in Jamaica in our country too. Instead of trying to guilt you, Juna, because I think that's what he was trying to do, was trying to guilt you that you took only Jamaican players. And I really think that's the wrong approach. I think that is the close-off approach, but a more open approach would for Never Isaac and others to be looking at what you are doing and to say that we need to start that in our country too and expand the thing. We all need to help ourselves and don't think that we should just sit down and people help us. So I hope that Never Isaac would look at it in that more comprehensive and that broader approach and think that you just choose to carry Jamaican. Melroy Daly said, Bravo. Well, let's talk about Bravo. Is Bravo a good coach for the women team, Juna? Do you think that Bravo is a candidate that could replace Shane Deitz? What are the strengths of Bravo, Melroy Daly? Juna, what's your thoughts on Bravo?
Absolutely not. Dwayne Bravo, as we would know, is not interested in women's cricket. He's not interested in even being a head coach. He has a lucrative contract with the Knight Riders, which he's very happy with. He will not leave that to coach West Indies women team. You can't ask a guy that is not interested. He has never shown a willingness to, and he's not interested. And I don't think the present administration is even looking for a new head coach.
Thank you. So you don't think that, you said that they are not looking for a new head coach. Are you saying that Shane Deitz should be staying?
I'm not saying that he should be staying, but knowing the administration as I know them, they are not looking to replace him at this time.
Okay, very, very sad. That means West Indies women cricket will go lower than under Shane Deitz. Mrs. Brown, good morning. Happy to have you here. Thank you very much, Mrs. Brown. Juna, your final comment?
Yes, I want to say that the Cricket Hall of Fame, in conjunction with the West Indies Cricket Development Academy, is planning and is willing to give a 6-month Zoom program to train cricketers in regards to mind power. We're offering it to Jamaica. We're offering it to CWI, to the entire Caribbean islands. Come, let us train you. Let us help you, not only to perform better in cricket, but to perform generally in life. Neural pathways. What you put in your brain, your strongest thought, will move you. What we want to help you is to build your thoughts, to build your ability to have control over your life, to have control over your game, to have control over everything that you do. You play a part, whether it go good or whether it go bad. Come, let us help you. We are willing, we are able, we are volunteering. It is no cost to you. It is fully funded by the Cricket Hall of Fame and the West Indies Cricket Development Academy. Make your interest known and we'll be happy to help you.
Thank you very much, Juna. And I want to say that it was a pleasure being here with you again this morning. I enjoy the interaction with you and all of you in the community. Well, the poll that was going on, who is the better captain between Shea Hope and Ailey Matthews? Therefore, Shea Hope has been declared the winner of that poll, and he will now qualify for the final. The next elimination will be between Rothman Powell and Craig Brathwaite. So look out for that poll and vote who you think shouldn't be the other finalists along with Shea Hope. So Shea Hope have beaten Ailey Matthews, and he is in the final for the best captain in West Indies cricket. The next one coming up, Rothman Powell versus Craig Brathwaite. Look out for that poll and vote accordingly. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Have a wonderful day and see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Bye for now.